Here's all you need to know this week in Pokemon GO. Tapu Lele and Mega Blaziken will continue to appear in raids until 10 AM on Monday, when Blacephalon and Stakataka will begin appearing in 5-star legendary raids, and Mega Sceptile will begin to feature in 4-star mega raids. All have the chance to be shiny, with Blacephalon and Stakataka having their shiny versions available in GO for the first time. Blacephalon will only be available in raids in the Western Hemisphere, and it's a solid choice as either a Fire or Ghost-type raid attacker. Stakataka will only be available in the Eastern Hemisphere, and it is garbage. Mega Sceptile is the top Grass-type raid attacker and is even better when equipped with Frenzy Plant, which will require an Elite TM. Raids will next change on Monday, April 21st. The Stunning Styles event continues until 8 PM on Monday, so be sure to claim the rewards from the timed research before it expires. Passimian will feature in the Max Monday hour from 6 to 7 PM, with Machop, Wooloo, Caterpie, Drillbur, and Phalanx available for the entire week. It appears Passimian will not be in Max battles after the Max Monday hour, but it will be back the following week. Passimian is not an optimal choice. However, if for some reason you're drowning in candy for it and lacking in Machop candy, or you simply do not want to invest in a Dynamax Machamp because the Gigantamax version should be featuring soon, you could build a Dynamax Passimian for use against Gigantamax Snorlax next week. On Tuesday at 1 PM Pacific Time, the active Go Battle Leagues will become the Open Ultra League and the Spring Cup Great League Edition. You can check the GBL schedule in-game to see what's coming up and for when the leagues change in your local time zone. The weekly Spotlight Hour runs from 6 to 7 PM on Tuesday and will feature Meditite. For 1 hour, it will be everywhere in the wild at a boosted spawn rate, and the active bonus will be 2 times Transfer Candy. Medicham is decently ranked in the Great League, and you'll need Candy XL if you want to build one with PvP IVs. So be sure to Mega Evolve a Fighting or Psychic type for extra catch candy. And remember, the current season bonus is a guaranteed Candy XL when trading, so you could stockpile these and trade a bunch to get some extra Candy XL. PokeStop Showcases will end on Tuesday and Sunday at 8 PM, likely featuring event-themed Pokemon. Enter them for easy Stardust and XP, and you could win premium items. The Spring into Spring event begins on Wednesday at 10 AM. A couple more Pokemon from the Galar region will make their Pokemon GO debut, those being Gossifleur and its evolution Eldegoss. The bonuses active for the event will be 2 times Lucky Egg duration, 2 times Hatch Candy, 1/2 egg hatch distance, and increased shiny odds for Remoraid and Fletchling. There will be event-themed 2 and 5 kilometer eggs, with Gossifleur being found in the 5 kilometer eggs, but it will also feature in the wild for the entire duration of the event. Most of the other wild encounters will rotate each day, with a variety of water types in the wild for the first 2 days, then 2 days of fire types, and finally 2 days of grass types. Of note, Azumarill, Lapras, and Jumpluff are well ranked in the Great League, Ninetales is well ranked in the Ultra League, and Roserade is a good grass and poison type raid attacker. As always, there will be a paid timed research well worth avoiding. The weekly raid hour runs from 6 to 7 PM on Wednesday and will feature either Blacephalon or Stakataka depending on your region. Any 5-star raid boss caught during a raid hour will award a Rare Candy XL. An instant raid will appear on most gyms if there are players nearby with the game open. The raid will last 25 minutes, then there will be a 5-minute break before the next 25-minute raid will appear. Weekends in April feature Shadow Registeel in 5-star Shadow Raids, which are in-person only and have the chance to be shiny. The non-Shadow version of Registeel is well ranked in the Great and Ultra Leagues, but it does require an Elite TM. On Sunday from 2 to 5 PM, something or some things will feature in Raid Day. Clearly, Niantic doesn't care about my production schedule because we still don't know which Pokemon are featuring, though from the sounds of it, there will be more than one. The event is called Sparring Partners, suggesting at least 2 raid bosses to go after. Let's assume they aren't going to be changing the usual formula, and I'll update a pinned comment on this video once the information is announced, where I'll make any corrections and meta-analysis. Similar to a raid hour, instant raids will appear on most gyms every 30 minutes. You can get 5 additional free raid passes by spinning gyms, but you can only hold 1 at a time, so you'll need to do in-person raids during the event to make use of these. The shiny rate for the raid bosses will be boosted to 1 in 10, assuming the shiny is available. And the remote raid limit will be increased to 20 per day from Saturday at 5 PM to Sunday at 8 PM Pacific Daylight Time. There will be a free timed research awarding additional Stardust, which must be claimed before the end of the event. And there will be the typical paid event ticket, which will get you 8 additional orange raid passes, plus the rewards from completing raids will be upgraded with an increased chance at Rare Candy XL, 50% more XP, and 2 times Stardust. That's how raid days usually work, but again, check the pinned comment below for additional info. The weekend PokeStop Showcase will end at 8 PM on Sunday, and the Spring into Spring event will continue until next Monday at 8 PM. The seasonal bonuses for Might and Mastery will be active until June 3rd, and that's it for the week ending Sunday, April 13th, 2025. Check the description below for links to download this calendar in full quality. For overtime this week, let's discuss the Reward Road, now available globally, and the new Go Pass, which is available in select regions, including my own, and we'll question whether or not the Deluxe Pass is worth the money. The reward road is simply a loyalty points program. The more you spend, the more you get back. It's like when you go to the grocery store and they have a deal where if you spend $200 that day, you get a free gift like a pack of batteries or paper towels. If you spend that much on groceries anyway, cool, free paper towels. But if you decide to spend a little extra just to get to that free paper towel level, you have been successfully manipulated. And that's all the reward road is. They want you to see some so-called progress towards your next reward unlock to incentivize you to spend just a little more money that month. And of course, the way the points structure works out, you'll always be just out of reach when it comes to hitting the next milestone. It's no coincidence that events seem to have their full details withheld until just a little closer to them actually happening now, making it that little bit more difficult to form a budget for the entire month, assuming you occasionally do spend money on event tickets. All in all, they're hoping to capitalize more on impulse spending. If they can extract just a little more value out of more users each month, that can translate into millions of dollars worth of additional revenue. I'm going to make a separate video about this soon, but generally, if you're unhappy about the monetization policy of a game like this, you really need to set hard boundaries for yourself. Most of the reasons I see people spend money in Pokemon Go comes down to shiny or IV hunting and for legendary candy. If you're spending money on those things, honestly, just stop. Do something else with your time and money. Shinies are a cosmetic palette swap. IVs make nearly imperceptible changes to your gameplay experience, and while legendary Pokemon are generally the best in class, they aren't necessary, especially powering them up past level 40, barring the exception of trying to complete raid content without an appropriate number of players. I understand if you're shorthanded and you really want to try to finish these raids on your own or with one other player, but honestly, you're better off picking up a used second phone and just playing on 2 accounts at once. I know it's considered cheating, but I have never heard of someone being banned for that. And if you're trying to build PvP teams of Pokemon that require XL candy, you are among the most scammed part of the player base. Competitive games that require you to invest time and money into your digital arsenal on top of learning the ins and outs of the gameplay mechanics are super duper scummy. That's where the whole term pay to win comes from. Please stop rewarding these companies for creating games with these systems. Okay, that was a bit of a tangent, but let's take a look at what the Go Pass has to offer. This is basically what other games would call a Battle Pass, which is a name that would not work in Pokemon Go since they already call the green raid passes premium battle passes. Anyway, it's a play-to-earn system with a free track and a paid track. It's pretty much exactly the same thing they used during the Unova Tour, which at that point they were calling the Tour Pass. It serves as extrinsic motivation to keep you playing, which is a disappointing trend in gaming for the past couple decades. If I sound old and jaded, it's because I am. Compared to intrinsic motivation, which comes from enjoyment in the activity itself, extrinsic motivation comes from things like rewards. Many gaming companies are focusing more and more on extrinsic motivation to foster feelings of FOMO and increase user engagement well past the point of genuine enjoyment. This is because if they don't capture enough of your attention, aka free time and headspace, you may drift towards other hobbies, video games or otherwise, and that can lead to falling out of the habit of loading up their game by default. Pokemon Go has used this method non-stop through the free and paid timed research, which are just miniature versions of a battle pass really, but those rely on you being interested in any given event. With a monthly model, they hope you'll commit to your Pokemon Go habit all month long, regardless of your interest in specific events. If this goes well for them, we'll probably see a seasonal pass eventually, which will lock some players in for 3 months at a time. This is another topic that deserves its own video, but that is something that I would put on my main gaming channel because it goes well beyond Pokemon Go. I'm actually surprised it's taken Pokemon Go this long to introduce a battle pass, although you could consider the Expedition or extra gifting bonuses, or what's it called currently, the power-up bonus, to be the same sort of extrinsic motivator tied to an upfront player investment. If you're paying for an additional 20 gift openings per day, you're more likely to actually go in and open all those gifts, even if you don't want to play at all that day. And once you have the game open, you're now considered a daily active user, and it's good for their statistics. If you're paying for additional candy bonuses or XP or Stardust bonuses, you're probably going to make sure you play enough to take advantage of those bonuses. Now, I will admit, seeing the Go Pass rank up does tickle my brain in just the right way, and I immediately started adding things up to see how much you actually need to play to rank up all the way to 100 in a month. And I am opening the game more often than I was last week just to catch the 5 or so Pokemon that spawn around my house every hour, and fortunately that's been enough to max out my points for the day. However, I'm still playing more than I intended. So yeah, that's how it works. It's just another one of those things that makes you feel like you're not optimizing your resource potential if you don't complete the pass. Along with all the other gimmicks, it's designed to keep your mind on the game more often. But there is no way I am buying the Deluxe Pass. With the Switch 2 releasing this year, my gaming budget is completely spoken for, and spending $11 Canadian to get a Xerneas and a lucky trinket? Yeah, no thanks. Obviously, I'm becoming less motivated to play Pokemon Go the way I was up until about the Unova tour, and it's probably because the next challenge for me in the game is to start shiny hunting, and I just don't wanna. But if they keep releasing new Pokedex entries each week, I'll keep having a reason to log in. Anyway, that's it for me this week. See you next time.